Now we're live on both the YouTube and the Zoom. So, welcome to Journey Home Meditations Morning Sit. We were just finding our meditation posture. The legs can be held in many different positions. I tend to prefer half lotus. That's one leg on top of the other, folded across. But you can find the leg position that's going to work best for you to bring you into balance. I find that if I'm sitting on the floor on a mat or a pillow, I want something underneath my bum to lift my body up just a touch so that my legs can fall more naturally, right? And this often helps me with the issue of my nerves uh, going dull and my legs falling asleep. Um, so find something that works for you to be able to sit without strain, without pulling your body one way or another. Okay. Shoulders rolled open, shoulder blades laying flat on the back. You may have to lightly pinch them together and then let them relax, but you'll feel the chest open. We're breathing with our diaphragm and should expand the belly and contract the belly with each in and out breath. It helps to breathe in and out of the nose. And we're seeking balance. It's balance that's going to put us in a correct posture for meditation. And the correct posture for meditation is the correct mindset for meditation. Right? This is the original yoga. Is finding this asana and getting our bodies and our minds, our soul body, our emotional body, all of these bodies that we have, all of them unified, yoked together, right, as one. This is yoga. So just breathe. No need to change or modify the breath right now. Just notice how the breath feels. Make minor adjustments or major adjustments as needed to find the position of balance and ease. And as you come up to those tense places, those places that are holding tight or straining, this is your practice to sit with that spot. And breathe into it. We're not going to gloss it over or ignore it. We're just going to sit with it and breathe as we consciously bring relaxation. We let go. It can help to bring a mantra into the breathing practice to connect the mind and the breath. A good mantra for this practice is to, upon the in-breath, think, I am receiving. I am receiving. And on the out-breath, I am letting go. I am receiving. I am letting go. I am receiving. I am letting go. I am letting go. Notice how the breath is beginning to shift, change subtly. And as you feel a slowing of the breath and elongation of the inhale and an even longer exhale, you can feel calm coming over the body and the mind. You can continue to think, I am receiving. I am letting go. I am receiving. I am letting go. We're going to begin to shift our breath just a touch. We're going to 5, 7, 8 breath. Okay. This is a breathing practice of measured, metered out breath. Right? We're going to breathe in for a count of 5. So as we breathe in through our nose, we'll count 1. And at the top of the breath, with the breath held, we hold for 7. And then release for 8. Okay. We may want to take a few deep breaths to really open this breathing passage up. So let's do 3 really large bellows breaths. And we'll begin our practice. In. Hold. Release for 8. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Release. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Release. Hold. And in. Hold. And release. And return to natural breath. Notice any subtle shifts in the breathing, any places of discomfort in the body, any sensations arising. And check the posture. Let's move to Nadi Shodhana breath. And this is a breathing technique also called alternate nostril breathing, right? And what we'll be doing is using our hands, we'll place them in Vishnu Mudra. This is the right hand with the thumb extended, the first and second fingers folded down, and the third and small finger extended. We'll place the palm towards our face and we'll be blocking off the right nostril with our right thumb. And as we breathe, we exhale completely from the left and inhale completely from the left. Then switch sides, closing off the left nostril with the third and small finger of the right hand, and we exhale completely from the right and inhale completely from the right side. This is one round, and we'll be doing this for multiple rounds. We'll probably spend about 3 minutes on this breath. Okay. You can also alternatively place the two folded fingers opened and on your third eye. Some people really enjoy this because it allows them to have a focal point to bring the attention and awareness to the third eye while opening up the nadis, right? The flow lines of energy that extend from our sinuses down to our root chakra. And this is what we're doing. We're bringing balance into our body and mind through our breath. It's pranayama, the control of the breath. Okay? So here we go. And out. In. Switch and out. And in. Switch and out and in. And out, switch. And in. Continue this. And we'll keep this going for just a moment. I'm taking a second here to show you. You may find that you have more resistance from one side than the other. That's okay. We're going to match our breath to the side that is most constricted. We want to find the balance. So if it takes a 6 count to inhale or exhale from one side, then we'll do the same on the other. Okay, and we'll go with our most restricted nostril. And this is very natural that one side would be a little easier than the other. Our body will switch back and forth throughout the day naturally, closing off one side slightly for the other. A lot of speculation as to why this is occurring. And we won't go into that right now, but just what we want to do is find the side of our nose that is the most difficult to breathe in and out of, or the most strained, or the one that might have some obstacle, and count how many counts it takes to get a full in-breath and how many counts for a full out-breath, and we'll then match the other side. So continue with the practice. Out. Final round. When you come back to your left side, release and return to natural breath. There we go. Okay. What a mess. Uh, so as we find the balance in our body through our breath, we're just going to take a moment. It's funny. Um, I've been working on these for a while now, and as I try to grow this, I get in over my head, right? I'm using too many different platforms, trying to to widen the ability for people to benefit from these morning sessions. But I think I'm starting to realize that all the equipment and all of the stuff is starting to take me out of my practice. And it's just funny. It's a funny irony. So I need to, let's just go into our practice now. Let's just go into our practice. And these are the times when we can start to see the benefits and the reasons more starkly, right? When things are frustrating and we have the ability to sit with what is, do some problem solving if needed, or just walk away in laughter. So that's what we'll do. So find yourself into your position, your meditation posture one more time. And we're just going to follow the breath. As we breathe into our bodies, allowing our body to expand, notice any places of sensation or tension. Bring your awareness there. Breathe into the space, and as you exhale, let it go. This is a practice of constantly letting go. Do yourself and your body a big favor by really focusing on the out breath, pulling the belly button towards the spine as you contract the body and allow the breath to leave naturally. You may have to give a little bit of a push to really empty the self. And doing so is utilizing the diaphragm to its fullest extent, right? And this is going to bring ultimate relaxation as you are using the full breadth of the ability to breathe, right? You're opening up fully, you're expelling fully. Right? And as you have this practice, you're going to be sending signals to the body that you are safe. The body's going to in turn send those signals to the mind that it's okay to be calm, it's okay to relax. It's our breathing that does the bulk of this nervous communication from the outside world to the inside. And fear and anxiety and nervousness, these are physiological responses. It's very interesting to learn that it's not all in your head. That through awareness of the breath, an intentional breath practice, you can create a line of communication between the body, the physical body, and the mind body, right? Connecting all of these systems that we have to flow and communicate back and forth. And right now, as we receive and we release, we communicate openness, and we communicate flow. Feel that difference as you've been focusing on the breath. In the chatter between the mind and the body, what's happening there? And whatever's happening, it's okay. There's nothing to compare it to, there's nothing to achieve. Just notice the timbre of the breath and the quality of the thoughts. Is your mind racing? How does the breath feel? How's your emotional body? Are you feeling comfortable and safe? Are you feeling nervous? All of this belongs to who you are right now. Just be present with that. Sometimes meditation doesn't have to be anything other than what it is. In fact, that's not even sometimes. But my point is, just taking this moment to sit, to follow your breath, to feel your body. This is meditation. This is body awareness. And this is a practice we can do to understand our positionality, right? Where we're coming from into our world today. Because oftentimes we can create a story that the way we are emotionally experiencing our world is because of the other, because of someone else, because of something else. Oh, I'm just frustrated because my microphone was falling, or I'm just frustrated, or I'm just upset because I couldn't get a piece of equipment to work, or whatever it is, right? I'm just irritated right now because this person won't stop chewing loudly beside me. whatever the story is that we have for this external reason for the way we feel internally, okay, this practice, following the breath in, going inside the body, this is remembering that the way we feel inside is ours. It's not given to anyone else. And it's how we feel first that is going to dictate our reaction, our mental reaction, our emotional reaction, our attachment, our aversion. All of that's going to begin in the body, right? It begins in the gut. We have the gut instinct. We can feel it. Right? It's in our heart. We have the generation of energy and electricity and power to move forward with a clear conscience, right? We move with our hearts. We feel it in our throats, right? And this is the space where we can feel a flow with communication, or we feel a blockage. Right? We feel it in our heads, right through our third eye right here. We oftentimes, you get a tension headache, you reach for this spot on your head. Right? This is our vision. This is our ability to see clearly. And if that's becoming obstructed, right, we might strain and give ourselves headaches. There's all these different places in our body that you'll notice if you start placing the awareness and the attention on the body, that these feelings begin before an interaction. So taking this time in our morning sadhana to practice feeling where we are, what's happening inside of ourselves, this is going to give us a large amount of insight. In fact, that's what this type of meditation is for. It's called Vipassana meditation or insight meditation. This gives us the ability to look inward, see where we're coming from, see what's happening. And then if you choose, you can continue and go deeper into that practice and sit with whatever that feeling may be. Get to know it, befriend it. See if you can go behind the feeling. See if you can go into that place of memory. Not necessarily memory of names or faces, not necessarily that, but more of a body memory. Where's this feeling coming from? Where did you learn this? What's this connected to? What connections have you made with your logical, rational mind with your body? Right? Because when we have a feeling in our bodies, oftentimes our go-to, especially in a material world that we are so focused on our five senses to relate to the world, we create a story in our mind for why we're feeling that thing, what that is. And then we sort of store it away and it becomes its own little space that gets accessed when something triggers that memory. And this is why we say we have these emotional triggers or these physical triggers. Something happens that has a sense memory relating to a feeling, right? And we begin to react from that feeling instead of necessarily from what's being said or what's being done, what's in front of us. So we're kind of functioning on autopilot. It's like we're not really finishing the sentences. We just are already on a hair notice, right? Like just the smallest fraction of time has taken place. We've already begun to respond and react to whatever it is in our life. And we use our mind or our brain to justify our feelings, our emotions, and our reactions, our behaviors. But without awareness of the body, without the ability to go inside and feel where you're coming from when you step into a situation, then the amount of participation that you have is going to be on the back end. Right? You're going to be participating at the whim of your body and mind's reactions. Your emotional responses and your behaviors are going to be dictated by these things instead of your ability to understand, oh, I'm tender right now. I'm sensitive. I'm distanced. I'm dissociated. You know, and what you choose to do with the information that you find as you look inward is going to dictate how this practice works for you. And it's a strange thing to understand that we are responsible for all of our feelings. No one ever taught us this, right? So when we do hear it, after all we've been taught, all of the individualism and abuse and manipulations that this world can throw at you in your life, when someone says to you that it's your responsibility, you hear what? Oh, so it's my fault. It's my fault. we equate responsibility with fault. Right. But maybe it's time that we start to go deeper into what responsibility is. The ability to respond, not react. Responsibility. And we can break the words down by how they sound. Right? Are you being responsible? Are you able to see what's happening in your life and respond to it from a place of centeredness and calm? Or are you being reactionary? Are you forced to react because your body is already working overtime on this sense memory, and your mind is kicked in to back it up with its logical rationalizations and justifications of anger or annoyance or love and joy? It works the same for all of it. And I think the more that you sit with this, the more that you can touch into the universality of it, the oneness of all of us, we can start to decipher what is our experiences, our memories, and how we would like to engage from this point forward. And that's a type of empowerment that is unexplainable in a lot of ways. Once you have the power to decide how you are going to react within your body to a given situation, you cease to be victimized by somebody's violations. Right. Now, that doesn't mean that you somehow will escape bad things happening to you, right? Hurtful things, harmful things. And it doesn't mean that the things that have happened to you in the past are somehow okay. But it means that you, right now, are okay. That you're not still subjected to the same punishments, the same violations, the same abuses. You're not subject to that anymore. And you don't have to allow those experiences to take over and react from those places the same. You can bring the comfort that you've always needed yourself. Now, it's not to be confused with an individualistic view of pull yourself up by your bootstraps. We don't have bootstraps, right? But this is opening ourselves to the relationships that are taking place inside. It's opening ourselves to feel more deeply, to better feel what it is that we are averting ourselves from, and to better see what we are attaching ourselves to. I know this can get a bit confusing, but all this is to say that this practice, even when we just get a few frustrated moments, it allows us to be in relationship with ourselves, ourself, that inner part of the I am, not the body, not the mind, this thing that is me. That as this body changes and gets sick and dies over time, and this mind gets filled up and emptied over time, there's the I am in the middle of all of it that is unchanged. that's just here to experience all of these experiences. And when we can come into relationship with that understanding, we don't have to dissociate from anything. We can allow ourselves to feel it deeply and know that we're in the safest place we can. And this is the safest place we can be in. And that's the practice. So thanks for joining me on this journey home. I'm going to put my hands together in the recognized position of gratitude and prayer. And my gratitude today is for the obstacles in the path, because the obstacles are the path, right? So I'm grateful to come up to get against these things and to be able to let them go. And my prayer today is that may all beings find safety, health, and joy. May all beings be safe, healthy, and joyful. Okay, so I think this is going to be one of the last morning sits that I do with this format of Zoom and YouTube. It's just not seeming to work out the way that I prefer. So I think I'm going to go back to just holding these on Facebook. We'll get back to that comfortable spot, come back to the beginnings and work from there again. And we'll find what works for all of us. So thanks for sticking it out with me and joining me each morning for these practices. You can check us out on Facebook at Journey Home Meditation for the Facebook page, or Journey Home Sangha for the community group. Right? And the community group isn't necessarily based around these morning practices. It's based around meditative practices and each of our journeys, and we share our journeys together with one another. You can find helpful practices or techniques along the path, and you can find community and people that you can identify with. And I think this is a valuable pursuit, is to find community. Others may not think so, and that's okay. We also are on Patreon, YouTube. We have an Instagram and a Twitter, but I'm kind of dropping those formats. So you can find us all over the place. But thanks so much for continuing the support. I'll see you tomorrow morning. All right. Again, tomorrow is probably just going to be on Facebook. So for anybody who is watching this, come to our Facebook page, Journey Home Meditation. That's where, until something changes with my technology here, that's where we'll be. Adios.